And the people clothed the priest. People came from everywhere of the tribe of Israel. They gave of their gold, their myrrh. They gave of their fine linen. They gave of the essentials that was needed to clothe the man of God. Why? Because they had a desire to go to the next level. And if you're ever going to go to the next level, you have to clothe the priest. So we will clothe the priest now. As we clothe them, what we're saying is we believe in you. We believe that God's going to do great exploits through you. We believe that God's going to show you a revelation of himself that has not been seen before by the eyes of man. This is what I'm talking about when I'm saying the people, they clothed the priest. They embraced him. So their handiwork was embracing him. They say, we cover you. They say, we're a son of the house. We're not like Ham. We're a son of the house. And so what they did, they began to clothe this priest. And every fine detail came together to illustrate that God had a people that would seek his face. That God had a people that wanted more than the outer court experience, wanted more than the inner court experience, but they wanted an experience like the holies of holies. They wanted to touch God. They wanted to smell like his fragrance. When they went through the incense, they began to smell like his fragrance. Although they had not went in there themselves, when Aaron came out, there was the fragrance of God that lingered. The fragrance of God that touched their being. This is what we really, really desire. And as I said, every jewel was on his chest, and it showed that he cared for the people. Now I want to share a story with you as they're completing, dressing the priest. There was a time, see, anything that God asks you to do, it's because you're going to face, one day you're going to face something that you're going to need what he has required you to add to your life. It's always in preparation of a day to come. Well, it came about when the children of Israel, they came to Amalek. This is in Exodus, the 17th chapter and the 8th verse. And I'll just read it for you. And they said, and then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim. And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men and go out, fight with Amalek tomorrow. I will stand on the top of the hill with the rod of God in my hand. So Joshua did as Moses had said to him and fought with Amalek. Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. Can Moses and Hur come out? And it came to pass when Moses held up both of his hands that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hands, Amalek prevailed. But Moses' hands were heavy. And they took a stone and put it under him. And he sat down thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands. And if you would come up, please. Thank you. Thank you. And they stayed up his hands. And so what actually happened, this place, Rephidim, it's actually, the wording means rest. They were in the valley of rest. It was a time for a Sabbath. They were at a place of rest. And then came Amalek and warred against the children of Israel. Well, Moses went up on the hill. Why? Because he knew it was a time of rest. But he assigned Joshua and the people to fight. And as they fought, as long as he kept his hands up, your hands extended to God is intercession, prayer, standing in the gap, intervening. And so that's what the leader Moses was doing. But he knew it was time to rest. God had called him to rest. And so as he put his hands up, the people are warring. Why? Because they believe the vision of God. If you don't have a people that'll fight for the vision of God, it's not your vision. It's the vision of God. And God has given people in this house that will fight for the vision. He's assigned Joshua and a great army of people who will stand against Amalek. and will fight to see the victory of God. And the scripture says that a time came when Moses could not keep his hands up any longer. And when he couldn't keep his hands up any longer, they gave him a rock, and he sat down, and he yet interceded. How many times have we seen the man of God in this house? When he did not have strength, came here and gave us his strength anyway. He sat in this chair. He preached. He fought as we fought the battle, as we believed God for victory after victory after victory. And so then God says, sit down and rest. I'm going to actually put you in a sabbatical state. You sit down and you rest. You've done a good work. You've held your hands up for 25 years. It's not 5-6 hours. We're talking about 25 years. Think about taking care of a child every hour for 25 years. The weight of the call of God on your life. 25 years. And so God saw that it was time for him to rest. It was not because he had not done a good job. It was because he deserved rest. You deserve for your children to go away to college? How about that? And he deserved to rest. And so what happened? Even then his arms yet became heavy. And Aaron, who had been clothed by the people, and who was actually Miriam's husband. He was also Bezalel's grandfather, the guy that made all of the artifacts for the tabernacle. These people held up his arms in prayer. So now when you attach yourself to intercession, you become intercession. And the people of God, they fought. Why? Because they knew there was new ground. They knew there was new territory. They knew they yet had not inherited the promise that God had given to this house. And I come to tell you tonight, there is a people. There is a people in this house that will fight to see the will of God done here. That will fight to see the vision of God come to pass in this house. That will fight. Why? Because the vision is not just a man of God's. It's their vision. It's our vision. And we are sons. We're not like Ham. We are sons. Now are we the sons of God. And it doth not yet appear the glory that shall be revealed in and through your life. What as you fight the good fight of faith? We're not fighting for a person, we're fighting for God. We're fighting for God. Ultimately, everything that you bring to the house of God, it clothes God in the earth. When people come here, they don't see God. It's like the invisible man. What did he do? He wrapped himself in linen because he wanted to be seen and didn't want to scare anyone. And that's what God does. He wraps himself in clothed in flesh. You're the flesh. You're the flesh. You're the flesh. And you clothe God in the earth.